Dave Navarre here, and we're out at the Navarre Beach Pier construction site. Hey everybody, joining us is James with the Navarre Pier project, and he's going to tell us a little bit about it.
How are you doing?
Doing great.
Basically, we've completed 6 bents of pilings, as you can see in the background. Placed 3 piling caps. We're moving along at a pretty good pace. Hopefully we can keep this pace so we can meet our 1-year deadline.
So we're going to expect to see this, in April, May?
Sometime April, May next year.
Awesome. The project, I guess most people out there watching us on Navarre Beach TV are going to wonder, after you get past the land, is this all going to be barged, or is there going to be a crane on the pier itself? How does that work?
We're basically going to finish the entire pier up until the water and then move the crane on top of the pier and work top down that way.
Great.
Without a doubt, this is one of the most exciting days in recent history in Navarre Beach. We're underway with a pier that should last generations. The expected life of this pier will be 50 years or more. People are genuinely excited. This is going to be a great thing for this area.
And earlier in a press conference, you said that we've got the A-team working. What's the crew? Where's this crew out of?
Well, the A-team, we have Post Buckley, Shoe and Jernigan, which is a national engineering firm, but they have a great presence in the state of Florida. And as a matter of fact, the last pier that was built in the state of Florida was at Jacksonville Beach, and they were the designers of that. In history, just a little before that, the pier that's over on Okaloosa Island, they were the designers of that pier. So through the RFP process, we interviewed a number of firms. Post Buckley came out as a clear winner. Then the reason that I refer to it as the A-team, the construction crew, the company that actually built the Jacksonville Beach pier, is Ed Waters and Sons, and that's the firm we ended up. They came out as our low bidder.
So we do have the A-team.
So we really have the A-team. This is not their first rodeo. They've built
Excellent.
this. Essentially, they have built this exact same pier in Jacksonville Beach, and they know what the challenges are, and they're smoking. You can see it. They're smoking behind us.
Oh, yeah, they're making great progress. FEMA's involvement in this.
FEMA, because this was a disaster, a hurricane damaged pier from Ivan and Dennis. It was actually declared a disaster under Ivan, and under that scenario, FEMA will pick up 90% of the tab of repairing this pier or rebuilding. It's actually a hurricane mitigation project, so this pier is going to be a little higher, a little wider, have blowout panels, and if we have another storm hit it, it'll be repaired back into use in a matter of weeks as opposed to years.
Exactly.
And state of Florida will pick up 5% of the tab, and then the county's responsible for the other 5%. So it is one of those really unfortunate things that the original pier was destroyed, but the silver lining is that the federal government's going to come in and build this, arguably the best pier in the state of Florida, 90% of it being paid for by the federal government.
My only other question for you is probably everybody watching us on Navarre Beach TV, Channel 1, is wondering what's going to happen to the old pier.
Well, the old pier is probably sometime after Labor Day. It may be sooner than that, but they will actually deconstruct the old pier. If the permitting is in place for the Marine Sanctuary, which will be behind me here to the east in the park area up there, we might be able to take some of the materials from that and actually start the Marine Sanctuary project. But one thing that is guaranteed is that the material that is usable out of that will go to a 45-acre artificial reef area that's outside of Pensacola Pass. Robert Turpin, who works for Escambia County, has that area already permitted, and the debris from this old pier will go out there and become structure for fishing grounds for everybody in Northwest Florida.
All the green people will definitely love that.
Well, it's a recycle and reuse type thing, I guess, and that's exactly it.
Awesome.
And it's a great use for it. And there's a lot of folks that won't fish off a pier, but they'll fish off their boat, and we're going to provide that structure to attract fish.
Anything else you want to add?
Well, it's the first of a few celebrations. We hope to do this again maybe in November before the weather gets cold, and we'll do it after school so the kids can get out here and all the families and their generations do that. And I've already been promised by some of the fishermen today that when we get ready to do the ribbon cutting on this pier, we will have the biggest fish fry this county has ever seen.
I'll be here.
And I will too.
And guess what? Navarre Beach TV will be too.
Great.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Dave.
much.
Good to see you, brother.
Good. Hey everybody, we're joined now with Wayne Waters. He's the what do we call that? Contractor, I guess, huh?
I'm the president of Ed Waters and Sons
President?
Contracting.
Tell us a little bit about how you guys got started in this type of business and doing piers.
Well, we're a second generation contracting company. My dad started the business in the early 60s, and I got out of school in the late 60s and joined him, and I've been doing this for 40 years now.
And just a moment ago, Gordon told us this is not your first rodeo. You guys have done these before. What was the most recent one you've done before this?
Well, we have done a lot of piers. We've just finished a pier in Vero Beach last year, and that was for a private condominium association. And prior to that, we did a pier at Sebastian Inlet and Jack's Beach.
Anything unique about this one, whether it's shape or its length or anything? or any potential challenges with this particular area, part of the Panhandle?
Not really. The pier, what sets it aside from some of the other piers we built, one is it's built higher. I think over the years, designers and contractors alike have learned that the higher you get it off the Gulf or off the Atlantic or whatever the case may be, the better off you are when storms hit. And as evidenced by the Pensacola Beach Pier, which is 30 feet above the water, it's fared very well in the last 10 years, as you know.
And this one will be close to that?
This one will be 30 feet as well. Jacksonville Beach is somewhat lower. It's fared very well too, but I think that's one of the things that we've learned is to raise them up. The other thing is the timber decking is built in panels so that you don't get a lot of weight. When you get a lot of wave force, if you do, these panels will actually float out. They'll just float off of the structure, and so the concrete structure that is so expensive to rebuild and replace will remain.
Less tension on that, kind of like those breakaway walls.
Exactly, it's a breakaway deck, and it's called a blowout deck, which is exactly what it does when the waves hit it.
And we're looking at does that April May target date of opening so people can start enjoying this? Does that sound like it's doable?
I will guarantee you a date as soon as you guarantee me of no storms.
Yeah, I don't know if we can do that.
But
so
we're looking at a year's contract. We hope to be through by the end of April, and we're hoping that we don't get any
and we'll
weather
keep
delays.
our fingers crossed of no storms.
Yes, sir. We will.
Anything you'd like to add?
No, I tell you, the only thing I'd like to add is this is one of the most pleasurable areas we've ever worked in, and we're enjoying it. The people are nice. The people are really looking forward to this pier. I know they've been anxiously waiting this permitting process and funding process, but I can't say enough about how well we've been received here.
Well, thank you for everybody that's in town here, because it is a great place. Thank you so much for joining us on Navarre Beach TV.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us on this historic day of the Navarre Beach Pier construction site. Now let's go back to the studio.